What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. This time I'm going to do something with lighting. So in my last video I realized that my lighting condition wasn't very nice. I still went ahead with it because I just didn't have the time to do it again. But today what I'm going to do is we're going to go through different lighting conditions. I'm going to describe what I'm doing so that I remember later on in processing, in editing, what to do. So that's it. Okay, number one. This whole video is being shooted in 24 frames per second, most of it, well, apart from the slow-mo and all that kind of stuff, but most of this has been shot on 24 frames per second. Every time I change the lighting conditions, I'm just gonna explain what is going on and what is different. So let's start with number one, okay? Okay, so like I said, everything is being shot on 24 frames per second in 4K. Number one, this is the lighting condition that I'm using right now. We're gonna do this Godox. We're gonna set this up at somewhere around 40%, and that is the setting on the SL60 at the moment. This is on full blast, so that light is on. That light is on. It's flickering, but that's for some reason it's just like that. Let's have a look at the condition of the office and how it looks right now if I was to just whiz around and make sure that, you know, we're just going to examine the lighting condition on this. So that is number one. Okay, this is lighting condition number two. As you can see, I have turned off the main light at the top. I've got aperture on at the back there. I've still got the Godox on full setting of what it was previously. Let's just confirm that again. Okay, so that is still at 40%, and that is what I'm filming at the moment. And this is what I would usually have in my frame on my tutorials or something that I'm videoing. This is the frame that I would usually have. So I'm going to try and stick to this as much as, because I just like the depth of field. I've got a new aperture, which I'll show you in a bit. But this is usually the frame that I'm filming at. Again, this is being filmed on 24 frames per second in 4K. And we're just checking out the lighting conditions to make sure, going forward, what suits better. Okay, so now this is lighting condition number three. This is still the Godox on what the setting that we left it at. We still got the aperture on the shelf in the background. The other thing that I've changed is this light is now off. So this is lighting condition number three. We're still being filmed on 24 frames per second on 4K. And this is also the normal sort of frame that I would usually do in my tutorials. I think I like this actually setting with the aperture in the back, just glowing that, the tablet in the back with the candle on. But I think this would look really nice. Just gonna check out now number four perhaps. Okay, so this is the normal setting that I would have. That is the frame in the background, usually shooting on 24 frames per second in 4K. So that's the shelf that I've sort of tidied up a little bit. We still got the Godox on. Let me just go and check what percentage that is so we know for the next time. Okay, so the Godox is shooting at 40% at the moment. We've got the main light on top of me. I've turned that off. And we've got the top one over here that is also off at the moment. What I'm going to do now is actually turn this one on top of my head on to see what changes that makes, obviously, in the edit. Okay, so this light now on top of my head is now on. So this is now on at the moment. Let's see what difference that makes. I think it's a little bit of more of a shine on my right hand side. So I'm going to try and turn the SL down a little bit, maybe perhaps to 30 or something. I have now turned down the Godox to 30 now. This is now at 30. Okay, so I have turned the Godox down to 30%. This is me in the shadow. Now, what does look better, me in the shadow or me slightly forward? As you can see, the light now shines on the right hand side of my face. So that is setting 1. Let's keep this as setting 1, where I am in the light, and now setting 2, which is me in the shadow. So I'm just going to slightly move back and I go into the shadow. Now, which one looks better? Me in the light or me in the shadow? Okay, we're gonna try one more thing. I'm pretty sure this is gonna look really crap, but I've turned the main light on. Aperture on the back is on. The light at the top is off. Godox still on 30%, and I'm sitting in the shadow. I'm pretty sure this will not look good in the edits. We're just checking out different lighting conditions. That is the whole idea of this video. So even if this footage right now looks garbage, it's just for the research that I'm doing to see what lighting conditions in this office looks the best for me going forward. Okay, now this is a different setting. This is where I have pumped up the Godox to 40% now. So just to confirm, this is the Godox on 40%. I am sitting in the shadow, as you can see, because no light is showing on my face. The aperture is on the back shelf. No lights of this office are on. Everything is working on the Godox at the moment on 40%. Now, does it look better with me in the shadow, or how about the other frame where I come forward and I actually sit a little bit forward and the Godox is actually on my right hand side of the face? So here we are with the Godox on the right hand side of my face right now. Is this setting better or me in the shadow? Okay, so now I have changed the setting. This is now being filmed on 24 frames per second, 4K, but this is on cinematic mode on the iPhone. It's on f2, I believe. Okay, this is now being shot at aperture 4.5. There's a tiny little dot on the setting that is showing me on the right hand side of the screen. So it's telling me, I don't know if that is the recommendation of what the setting is right now, and it's telling me actually keep the aperture at 4.5. So this frame right now that I'm filming is on aperture 4.5. It looks pretty good, but however, it turns out very differently to when I am editing on Premiere Pro. So with my last video, I actually realized that I shot the whole thing on cinematic mode, I believe in f2 or perhaps 2.2, and everything was blown out. But then I had the main beam light on, I had the other light on, I had the Godox on, so everything was just blown out, and I just looked like, and the frame just looked so weird, which actually brought me into this video to say, okay, you know what, let me check the different lighting conditions so that going forward, mostly this is the office and this is the setting that I normally use. This is the room that I normally, this is the setting that 4.5 gives me. This is the probably the recommendation the iPhone is telling me to do in this background, in this lighting condition. It's the intelligence of the iPhone these days, that the camera settings on these brilliant iPhones that you get these days. So you see that tiny dot on top of there? I believe that would take me to 4.5. There we are, see? So that is the setting, and I'm gonna hit record. And that's what I see basically. This is the setting that 4.5 gives me. This is the probably the recommendation the iPhone is telling me to do in this background, in this lighting condition. It's the intelligence of the iPhone these days, that the camera settings on these brilliant iPhones that you get these days, and it's just recommending to me what I can shoot on. What's up? Welcome back. Okay, so I'm gonna fire up Premiere Pro, and we're gonna see we're just gonna pick one random clip and we're gonna put it into the timeline, and we're just gonna quickly just go through this just for the sake of just to show you an example of what I'm trying to gain here out of this whole video. So let's just put this, let's get all the import in from the folder, and let's see where this folder is. Okay, in search of best lighting condition. Let's import that in. There we are. Okay, so we're just gonna pick one random clip and we're just gonna post it into the timeline and just quickly show you what I mean by the lighting conditions and how they change. And we're just gonna export that quickly as well to try and get quickly to the point I'm trying to prove here basically. Okay, so what I've done here is just put one of the clips onto the timeline. This was clip number 4085, which was lighting condition number 3. So as you can see from here, this probably suits good. I've color graded it just slightly with a natural look on, just keeping it standard. And we're just gonna export this to see how this comes out now. We're still being filmed on 24 frames per second on 4K. And this is also the normal sort of frame that I would usually do in my tutorials. I think I like this actually setting with the aperture in the back, just glowing that, the tablet in the back. Okay, I feel like I have been doing this all day long and my head is just gonna smash through with my own hands. I have finally got through the probably what I can work with in terms of the lighting conditions, what I can get on with in the studio now, in this office. I'm gonna probably try and stick to that as much as we can. I have spent the entire day trying to work this out. My head is on the tip of getting blasted and I'm probably gonna have to eat quite a few painkillers and go to sleep. Anyway, so if you've liked this video, hit the like button, share it if you can, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.